now. Here for your questions.
First off, before we get started, happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody get something for their significant other? Anyone? 'Cause I have not yet, so just so that's clear.
Stores are still open.
Do I have any fun plans? Probably stay at the office for as late as possible. Get as much done as humanly possible. Kind of taking in the time right now. My family's back in Oxford, Ohio, so taking in the time as much as I can right now to invest support into our guys.
Trader Joe's flowers, never a bad call.
Or Costco. Costco, $29.99, right? Two dozen, and they last forever, like 2 weeks.
Costco's
insane.
good too.
So that's usually the go-to.
Get her a hot dog while you're right there too.
Well, that's for me, right?
Okay.
It's $1.50 a hot dog and a drink. It's a crazy deal. So, but no, I appreciate everyone being here today. Look forward to ultimately get to know everybody in the media, and I'm fired up to be here. So we'll go ahead and start asking away.
Jacob, what's it about Coach Bell's system that's going to translate from FCS level to Power 5, the speed of the ACC usually?
Sure. A lot like Coach Bell talked about last week, at the end of the day, it's all about the players, right? And his offense, right, it's all about putting players and the best players in the best positions to go make plays, right? So I think that's ultimately what translates to football, right? It's the opportunity for guys to go make plays. And as coaches, it's our job to put those guys in the positions to do that, right? So I think Coach Bell does a tremendous job. Like, I'm beyond fired up to get to be a part of his offense because of that, right? Because we're going to have guys out there flying around. They're going to be in different spots. And we're going to utilize them in a lot of different ways. It's going to be a pain in the neck of defenses.
We saw with, and I know you're just getting to know these guys, but Gavin obviously had a big first year here and hasn't had the same type of success. How do you get him back, or what are some of the things you want to work with him?
Sure. I mean, it's like we're preaching to our guys right now. It's all about day by day right now, right? Like, nothing in the past impacts anything that's going to happen in the future, right? And so Gavin, yes, has had a ton of production. Now, shoot, I'm going through cut-ups last night, and I'm watching him catch back shoulder balls and seam routes, doing all these different things, jumping over guys from Tennessee, right, and then going another 40 yards, right, spiking the ball in the end zone, right, getting the crowd going. So for me, my message to him is, man, just be who you are every single day, right? What a great opportunity for him, right, because he's such a competitive guy. He's been through the ups, he's been through the downs. So now for him, the challenge is can you be that consistent pillar in everything that you're doing, right, and let that be contagious to those around you. Because we got a lot of youth. You know, look at that wide receiver room, there's a lot of youth in there, right? So he's got a lot of hats to wear, but I think that ultimately is going to benefit him because now he's going to be able to really take that next jump and get back to where he was and even more.
What are some of the other skills that jump out to you from the guys in your room right now, aside from Gavin?
Yeah, Jake Rinda, unbelievable athletic, right? Unbelievably athletic. And I tell you what, his intent to get better is like unlike anybody I've ever been around. I mean, he's up here, I kid you not, like 9:30 at night coming up here watching more film, right? Coming in, asking me, he sits down with a thing of note cards, because I haven't seen note cards since like 7th grade. He comes in there, he pulls out a thing of note cards, and he's writing down concept on the back, and he's going through it. Right? And so, I mean, he is unbelievably ahead of the curve, in my opinion, right now. We were obviously just out in the field, he did a great job. You know, Jake Overman from Oregon State, what a great guy he's been for our room. You know, he's kind of that more thumper type body. And he's really buying into his role right now, and shoot, he's accepted that. He's doing a great job. He's getting better in the passing game. Obviously, he's down there with Coach Stacks, right, movement skills, he's improving there. And then there's some unproven guys, some younger guys, but I'm fired up about those guys. Have them, you know, Cole Mitchell, and then a couple of the walk-ons there. So fired up about those guys.
How beneficial is it to come in with a new OC, you know, not having to adapt necessarily like you're all adapting?
Oh, 100%. Adapting together, I like that word right there. Yes, we're all adapting together on the fly, but I think it's tremendously beneficial for us, right? Because like I told our guys, right, brutal honesty as a coach is first and foremost. So I was very honest with our guys from the jump, the tight end, saying, hey, look, guys, I'm in this thing the same as you guys are, right? So I mean, I think that's an awesome opportunity to show some vulnerability as a coach, right? To let those guys know that we are in this together. You know, I'm going to screw up as a coach. I'm going to tell you the wrong thing. But guess what? That's okay, because we're going to move on. We're never going to get beat twice. We're going to constantly get better day by day. Right? So I think it's huge for all of us to be in this thing together. You know, learning Coach Narduzzi a little bit too as a staff, learning how he likes things to be. Obviously, he's extremely meticulous in everything that he does. So we're all learning that together right now.
How did this opportunity for you come about? What's your relationship been like? What is that relationship like with Pat Narduzzi? How far back does that go?
Yeah, so it came about, this year, it was like January 7th. It was about 8:30 at night at the convention, right, so the AFCA convention in Nashville, and I get a phone call from a Jacksonville, Tennessee number, which I'm like, okay, this is a telemarketer, I'm not answering this. And then I get a text message from Coach Bell, and it says, you know, hey, This is Coach Bell, new offensive coordinator at Pitt. Would love to talk to you and see about your interest level for the position. So immediately call him, right, juiced out of my mind. So I talked to him, and then he proceeds to tell me, hey, we're going to meet, Coach Narduzzi wants to meet with guys and interview them in person here at the convention on Monday morning. Right, so literally that night, it's 3 o'clock in the morning in my hotel room, and I'm sitting there, thank God for PFF, I'm pulling up PFF, I'm watching Coach Bell's offense, right, because these are opportunities you want. You know, and then obviously I've known about Coach Narduzzi in the profession. I did not have a prior relationship with him, right, but I've known about what Coach Narduzzi is all about, right? He's obviously an established head coach. I mean, shoot, when I was at Tennessee, they came down to Knoxville and ultimately grinded out a gritty win on the road. Right, so that tells you all you need to know about a guy, right? To come into an environment like that, right, get behind early. We actually blocked a punt early in that game, and then to keep grinding it out, like, shoot, that's a guy you want to come work for, right? That's a head coach that you want to come work for because there's a reason that team's that gritty and able to do that on the road.
Looking at special teams, on both sides of for both punting units, there were some inconsistencies here last year. I'm curious, just over the course of your coaching career, what are some keys? What are some things that have worked well on both punt and punt return, and just what's kind of your assessment as far as how maybe you can apply some things you learned over those years here at Pitt on punt return?
Right. Biggest thing is I always think inconsistencies come from guys maybe worrying too much about the result, right? And that's the biggest thing right now. Stressing with the specialists. You know, when we get into some stuff with the returners, stressing that to those guys is don't be results driven in anything we're doing. You know, like I was just talking with our punters today. You know, like when we're out there, that scoreboard ain't on, right? There's no fans in that indoor, right? So when we're working, we're worried about, right, what are the little things that's going to allow me to go be successful? So now we're trying to accumulate those little things day by day. So now those results and those inconsistencies can start to narrow just a little bit, right? And that's ultimately how you develop consistency. It's not some magic thing that's just going to happen overnight. You know, it's about how you do things day by day with deliberate intention in everything that you're doing. And then from there, the second piece of it is just confidence. Like you guys are elite specialists, right? There's a reason this job was so appealing, not just from the tight end side of things, but because of the specialist units, right? Junko is as talented as can be. His leg speed is tremendously gifted, right? So as his coach, I'm juiced up about that. If I'm not, then I'm cheating him, right? I'm excited. So now it's pouring into him to make him realize, hey, you are a dude at what you do. You're one of the best in the world at what you do. Right, so let's go out there and do that every single time on the field.
What's impressed you the most about this program in your short time that you've been here in the city?
The connection of the program, and obviously it starts at the top with Coach Narduzzi. That was one of the first things on my interview that I realized about him is we're walking, I think, to the cafeteria, which we got unbelievable food in there. We're walking in there, and Coach Narduzzi stops every single time he sees a player to say hello to him, talk to him. And as a person interviewing, like that's the place you want to be. Right, because this is all about people. Right, everybody in the country's got nice facilities. We got really nice facilities, but everybody's got that. Right, what makes the difference is the people in these chairs, right, and the coaching staff. So the connectivity of the staff. I mean, even us on the offensive side of the ball. Like I haven't known Coach Darville, I haven't known El, I haven't known Coach Bell, but I mean, heck, we're all staying in the Indigo right there. Right, so we're all together all the time. I feel like I know those guys now, and it makes it incredible. And I think that trickles out to the players. That's why there's so much energy from our players right now, and you're seeing that, you feel that every single day they're in the building.
This isn't your first time working in the Pittsburgh area. You worked for Army a couple years ago. What do you like about Pittsburgh?
So love about Pittsburgh. So one, my oldest son Brody was born here, right in Swickley there. Okay, so love Pittsburgh for that. It's a special place. I love him to death. Obviously, he might be my favorite. But yeah, then after that, the people. Right, just a gritty place, a ton of tradition, and a ton of pride. You know, I grew up in Texas, which is a place that held a heck of a lot of pride. And that's what Pittsburgh, to me, that's what shocked me the most. Just how much pride people that are from here, Yenzers, right? And how much they take pride in everything about the city, the culture, and ultimately the history.
Ben Sauls has oftentimes talked about the mental approach to kicking. You had a really good one last year with Graham over at Miami.
Yep.
How much of that is, when it comes to place kicking, how much of that is teaching the mental aspect of the game and then the physical aspect of lining up and putting the ball through?
Sure. I think when you get to the point that Ben's at in his career, you know, he's made 31 career field goals. He's just under 78% of his career. You know, last year, all 6 of his misses were 42 yards or more. 3 of those 6 misses were over 50 yards. Right. So I say all that because Ben's really talented. You know, I just talked to him this morning. Like, at the end of the day, Coach Narduzzi's not trotting him out there for 50-yard opportunities if he's not extremely gifted, talent-wise, right, and physically. So from there, to answer your question, it does turn into the mental part of it. And he's rock solid up there, like as good as I've ever been around. Like you said, I've been around some good ones with Graham and Jason Sanders, and Ben's right up there with all those guys in terms of his approach every single day. He's been tremendous for me to be able to lean on, and in terms of the specialist room, and he's able to convey my messages to those guys because he is the leader of that room. The way I look at it, he's the leader of this program because he's been through a lot too as well, just like a lot of those other guys.
You've had great success the past 2 seasons at Miami. I mean, what's led to that success? Is it just the players, or how do you work with the players to make sure that they reach those levels? What do you think has allowed you to see that
Yes,
success?
success is always going to be the players, right? Like when good things happen, I'm going to point a finger at all those guys. When bad things happen, it's going to be me, right? And that's I said that to those guys this morning. It was our first ST meetings, like Christmas around here, and it was Valentine's Day, it was Christmas. And so for me, it's all about the players. And you know, the places I've been, the players have bought in. Like, yes, there is a structure and process, and I do believe extremely in what we do on special teams and how we go about those things. But at the end of the day, it's about putting those guys, no different than our offense, putting them in positions to go succeed. Identify those guys and then put them in positions to go succeed. And that's what ultimately has led to the high level of success that I've been fortunate enough to have in my career.